There are plenty of team themes we could talk about from this contest that helped the Nuggets win. There was a staunch defense in the second quarter that allowed 23 points after giving up 38 in the first. A 47-point third quarter, which ended up being the highest scoring quarter of the season for Denver. And the team's defense against Cade Cunningham after he started the game 4 of 5 tightened up. Ended up finishing 7 of 18 from the field and 1 of 8 from 3. And he was my main concern going into this game too, so job well done for Denver. But today's video has a very special focus. The Nuggets' big three just had the game. 26 points from Michael Porter Jr.
Porter for three.
34 points from Jamal Murray.
Stops it. Pops. Now Jamal Murray continues to sizzle.
37 points from Nikola Jokic.
Jokic for three. Got it again.
Jamal Murray had his best game of the year, point blank period. He was incredibly efficient from the field, he hit himself 4 threes, and his buckets looked extremely diverse, which is what we're used to seeing with peak Jamal. He was getting back to more dynamic dribbling and scoring moves, this play here rejecting the screen with a spin into a one-legged floater from the mid-range. He was running around screens left and right, open corner threes, open wing threes. He was also getting downhill and finishing with incredible finesse, which is another one of those quote-unquote vintage Jamal Murray things we're used to seeing. And on the ball, he was working the screens as per usual, and creating those 2-on-1s downhill for him or Jokic or for another shooter, whoever. And another one of the things I like the most about watching this film is that he and Russ are starting to really click as a duo. It's him kind of going back to his college shooting guard days, like only 2 assists per game. Because that wasn't what he was that's not what he was supposed to do. That wasn't his role. He was supposed to put the ball in the bucket. He was supposed to score. Honestly, it's a point about Jamal, but it's also a point about Russ too, because him being the defensive presence that he is, plus his ability to create with the ball, has opened the offense in so many ways, and once again has allowed Jamal to get back to more of a shooting guard role sometimes when they share the floor together. But back to Jamal. He also had 2 blocks and a steal on the night, and both of those blocks were him just straight up walling Ron Holland one time and Simone Fontecchio the other, if I remember correctly. It was one of those plays, I guess both of them were those plays that makes you get up out of your seat while you're at home and start flexing as if you got the block yourself. He's been putting together a string of good games on both ends, and I feel like it all culminated into this masterpiece of a game. 26 points, 5 threes, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, incredible true shooting efficiency. There really isn't a game you can point to this season that is more Michael Porter Jr. than this one. Each of his buckets came off a pass. None of it was self-created except for him being an off-ball movement demon. He took full advantage of his height differences when he got to the spots. There was 0 hesitation in his shots that game, and he took very, very clean looks. Side steps to get wide open, waiting for a defender to leave before shooting in the corner. It was that left corner shot where he was initially doubled, but they loosened up and he pulled up as soon as he had that opening. And not to dive too far into the trade rumors surrounding him, but it's games like these that really exemplify the make or miss league mantra, because outside of just scoring on the court, make or miss is how some players get traded and how some players stay. Because if MPJ misses the same shots that he made this game and misses let's say 5 more than he did, I'm sure there are 20 new people that crossed the line over into trade Mike territory. But if he keeps making these shots and he has more games of 9 to 14 shooting and 25 plus points, 15 of those 20 people probably stay on the keep Mike side. Also, y'all know the 18-7 run that the Nuggets went on to end the first half? Yeah, Mike had 7 of those points, made all 3 of his shots in that span, alongside Russ, who scored 6 of those 18 and also went 3 of 3. He did what he was supposed to do tonight. He was getting shots created for him by 3 other playmakers on the floor, which is basically the life for him. And when he's playing this role, that being to shoot the skin off the ball, everything looks so good. I don't think there's really much else to say about his total performance. 37 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, another near triple-double, like nothing we're not used to. Only 2 turnovers, which I think is in large part due to Russ's involvement with the ball and allowing Jokic to focus on scoring more. It's been a noted thing that Russ is probably the best entry passer to Jokic that this team has ever seen. And it shows when Jokic is able to not have to be ball handler 1 or even ball handler 2 sometimes. He just gets the ball in the post, and by that time, the offense has been created for him. He can just focus on getting his back to the basket, facing up however he wants to do it, and just getting a bucket. Side note, I know this is a big 3 video, but it seems like Russ's name is coming up a whole lot and in a very natural way. So I hope everyone just takes note of what his actual impact here is. He made his first 4 threes of the game, all in the first quarter, all from the top of the key. He was getting chippy with Isaiah Stewart. He was leading the charge in his typical way. And personally, seeing him score the ball with as much aggressiveness as he's had this season is really, really nice to see, because we all remember the days of us complaining that he was maybe a little too passive, settling for games with 4 points and 16 assists. Even if the game allowed for him to just score 4 points and win, he's now dropping those 30 pieces with intention. He's now looking to score, and he has the tools around him to be able to focus on scoring more than other parts of the game. I don't want to force any more words and make this any longer. We all know what Jokic is. This was just another one of those MVP-like games that we see from him. And, you know, a lot of us are desensitized to what these numbers actually look like, but gotta take some time out to appreciate it. This is meant to be just a quick appreciation video for a vintage Big 3 performance. Less about Jokic, which is why his portion ended up being the shortest, and less about the entire team and more about the other two just getting back to the peak form of their offensive abilities. Because this was by far the best combined game from all 3 of these guys that we've seen this season. And that's been the biggest thing that a lot of people have been asking for. Is, okay, we all know they're all good basketball players. Can y'all do it in the same game on a consistent basis, please? Because when y'all do, we know the results. It results in championships. It results in regular season wins and results in dominating victories. I mean, they scored 97 of the team's 134 points. Like, you really can't get more beautiful than that.